right, welcome to the Dragon's Tome. I am your host, Chopper,
Hello,
joined
Chopper.
with Rob and Jack, as always. We
Hello,
are
everyone.
here on
How
episode
dare you talk?
156. 156, episode 156, Dragon Magazine number 156, April 1990. April Fools.
No, it is really April 99.
Yeah.
This is a Daniel Horn piece. Obviously, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Oh,
Get it? Eye of the Beholder. There's a beholder on the cover that looks very fleshy.
it's
Not chitinous like you would see in the book.
she's dolled up for him. The one thing I find wrong about this cover, doesn't you find the image small? Shouldn't it be blown up a bit more? It doesn't even fill the page.
You think?
Yeah.
It does fill more of the bottom third than it would
Yeah.
like if I were doing the layout.
Move it up
but
and make it bigger. Yeah, it's weird. I just found that strange. It's like a small image on a big white background.
Now the question is, why do you think this guy is wooing the beholder?
Because she's
'cause
hot.
it's Valentine's Day.
He's got a little heart on his belt buckle, like a
That's what
heart
she gave him. That's
purse.
his on Valentine's Day. She gave him a little heart, and now he's giving her flowers.
Do you know that she gave that to him? We don't know that.
We have no idea.
How would I know that?
I do like how every tentacled eye, including the central eye, has eyelashes.
Ow. And she's got flowers in her hair, I think.
Yeah.
Some kind of buboes, one of the two.
He's got buboes. I think they're just pustules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, really well done. Disturbingly well done.
Yeah, disturbing because it's a very fleshy beholder if you ever seen one.
Well,
It almost looks like a thumb with a mouth and eyes on it.
I've known people like that.
Yeah.
It looks like when the prognosis is, oh yes, there was a partially formed twin inside of
I
your
knew you were
stomach.
going there. How did I know you were going there? Oh. Yes.
Oh, well,
Yuck.
I mean, picture-wise, still good painting. Daniel Horn did a good job.
Oh yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
disturbing
But
as hell.
I think the layout is like, now I look at it, maybe the layout is a little.
Yeah, if you can
Weird.
scroll up, half the image isn't when you show the top, you can't see the half the bottom. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird layout. Whoever the
Yeah.
let's see who the designer.
Let's see who the layout guy is.
Yeah, let's see who that art director, would that be the person who does that? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. We just don't know. Art director's Paul Hatchett, so screw you, Paul. But
It's a real hack job.
I would think he'd be more the one just to like get the art, not to place it on the page. I think that'd be
I
somebody
think
else's
he
job.
probably coordinates and
They probably weren't high enough to warrant themselves on the letterhead.
Yeah. That's why they did a crappy job.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to some articles then. Jack, would you like to start, please?
yes, sir. My first article would be on PDF page 25, please.
This is one of mine, I believe.
25.
Was
This
it?
was not mine.
No, it was not.
Ragnarok.
I definitely read it though.
Okay, this is again April Fool's. This is an adventure that you can play.
Adventure
and
that you can play.
I thought my explanation of "Hey, it's April Fool's" might have been enough of a clue, but if not, Rob, it's like a pantomime now. It's like a pantone over here. This is where you would run your characters as the DM. You would get them to make characters, give them intricate backstories, have them stand up and tell everyone about it, get really invested in the characters, and then the preamble, the exposition that starts an adventure. You know how hey guys, you're in the city of this, and you're doing that, and usually you try and keep it a little succinct. Well, this goes on for a full couple pages of the preamble to the adventure, including what happened before and what each person kind of did, which one of the characters. It involves a lot of like, oh, well, then the kobolds stole all your armor, so you're naked. And then it's like, oh, but then you found this stuff. It's all its magical items, but then you end up naked again. And then it's a couple pages of that. It was kind of a funny read. I might be the target audience for that kind of tomfoolery and hijinks, but it culminates into, okay, let's start the adventure, and then there's a small clip that says, "Oh yes, the adventure was written, but we didn't like it. We threw it out."
Yeah, they fed it to the nonsense ogre. 'Cause it
So,
made no sense.
so yes, it was not. We know that there was a April Fool's issue a couple years ago that was hilarious.
A stinker, yeah.
Gut-busting. This, not so much, but I will say I got a chuckle.
There you go. I'm glad you
All
chuckled.
right. Well, then, Mr. Harper, where would you like us to go next?
Let's just go to page 12.
No,
I knew
that's
this.
mine.
Okay, never mind. Let's go to page 8 then instead. I meant to go to 8 anyways. I don't know why I chose that one. The editorial. This one, Roger Mora, I don't know what he was on, but this is all about fear. And I was like, why isn't this in the Halloween one? Why is this
Yeah.
April Fool's one?
I read the same thing. I was like,
It's not
why is
funny
this
in
not
any
a
way.
Halloween one?
It's just him discussing fear in RPGs and probably how you should use it. And
And we had just had an article, I think maybe 3 episodes earlier, about this exact same
I
thing.
remember that. Yeah.
So either
it's
that
weird.
That was the Halloween one.
inspired him, or I don't know, but it's an odd.
It's pretty much him just telling stories about games that he was in that he used in Gamma Worlds. He had this killer robot that could literally kill gods in one of his things. Like he made all his players create take the D's and demigods and pick your own god, and then he had these robots just fly in and destroy them. so he says every time they show up in Gamma World, people just run. And then he talks about Call of Cthulhu, and then he talks about Wildspace, the new. I don't know if this is just an ad for Wildspace because it's a new module for Spelljammer. And he says, "I'm not going to ruin it, but it's scary as hell." That's pretty much what he's saying. So I don't know if this was all just for him to mention Wildspace and try to get the sales up or what, but it was a weird article to be in an April Fool's issue. That's what I thought.
Yeah, like he's a funny guy. He's a good writer. He's got a wealth of backstory and knowledge, and you'd think it'd be like, hey, one time I ran a module where I did, or something like that. Not, but you get what you get.
It's true.
He also gives a little tease to in January 1991. There's a new module for World of Greyhawk, and he just says Vecna lives. If anybody plays or anybody watched Stranger Things, you might recognize that name. So, yeah, weird little editorial. So that's my first ad.
All right,
Pat, are we going to page 12?
We're going to go to page 12 now. We're not necessarily the monstrous companion. April Fools.
April Fools. I do want to mention some of these too. So
I do too. So we'll do a round here. Just my first mention of these not so funny, or not. So, some of them are funny, some are not so funny. My first one is the Blink Woolly Mammoth.
Yeah, it's like
I like
Blink
that
Dog,
one,
but it's a woolly mammoth.
But it gives like a blink above you and do crushing damage.
Yeah, it'll just land on you, and it blinks randomly too, which I thought's funny.
Yeah. What do you got?
For me, it's the Death Sheep, because it reminds me, if anybody has ever seen the movie Black Sheep, it's a New Zealand zombie sheep movie, and this is exactly what it is. I'm like, did they just steal this from this? Because it's pretty much the exact same thing. Don't mess with Death Sheep. The Death Sheep are kind of they're like zombies, but they only infect other sheep. Otherwise, you just die. But if you're a sheep, you become a Death Sheep, and it just chaos ensues. So don't mess with the Death Sheep. They're really deadly.
Jack, you have a funny monster you liked out of this article?
The one I liked the most was the pigeon toad.
No, yeah, that's near the
Which is a pun on pigeon toad, and it's just a toad with bird wings, which it's pretty dope.
It's got a good picture.
Yeah.
Do they have a picture of it? Where's the picture?
Yeah, it's with the Death Sheep and the Killer Spruce on page 16.
On 16? I see the picture of the other guys, but
He's right in the front, the toad.
Oh yes, he's a flying toad. Oh, look at him. Is it Flying Frog? Is a company that looks like their logo. Looks like Deshi's trying to
Uh,
eat him though. He's chasing him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Two other ones I liked were the Jello monster,
Yeah, the Jello one was really funny because
the
it's
gelatinous cube, because it absorbs the flavor and the color of the Jello.
yeah, and
And
it
then let me just point that out. They don't actually use the brand name Jello. They call
no,
it
it's a J.
gelatin.
Yeah, or they say Jello with a G instead of a J, but
Yeah.
yeah. So it just somebody mixed their Jello into a gelatinous cube by mistake, and now it's indestructible. The only way you can beat them is you have to slurp them down. You have to eat them. It's like
Really quick, yeah. And the paper dragon I thought was kind of funny, where
yeah,
it was
that's rough.
created. It was created initially to protect scrolls, and then it morphed into thinking the scrolls was food.
So
So now it just goes around eating magic scrolls.
it literally will destroy any magic user's book or bunch of scrolls. Like it's evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's a bunch of weird ones, but yeah.
yeah, they're pretty funny this time around.
Mandrake was a funny pun because it's a man Drake, but
Mhm.
he's a half duck, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. All right, Jack, what do you got for a second article?
me. Could we go to page 52, please?
52. Wrestling with
What?
style.
Ooh, I almost did this one too. It
Wrestling.
got a little crazy.
It is not so much. Well, first of all, I thought it was going to be a joke, so I'm reading it with that pretense in mind, and I was on edge for the first, I don't know, page, and I was like, oh no, this is just talking about a very specific point in time, the martial arts slash sports of ancient Greece. So once I got that out of the way, it was kind of interesting. There was a form of MMA going on at the time that was very dangerous.
Yeah, pancreation's still around. That's still people still do that.
So like that was interesting. They talk about boxing, wrestling, just more of an educational thing than a what I would use for a game, but included in the article is like a chart of how many attacks they would get, damages and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
in my mind, an educational article that you could, if it was something you were looking for,
yeah,
wedge into your game.
because that chart is using the Oriental Adventures martial arts, the way the strikes and moves and all those things. That's all Oriental Adventures way they do their martial arts. But you didn't want to say the author's name? I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was what was it? Good Irish bloke. Where is he?
Irish?
Jan Jarvin.
I'm sure it's Jan Yarvinen.
Jan Yarvinen.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Yarvinen.
Swedish.
I apologize. I wanted to dodge that landmine of insult.
I threw it right back at you.
But my compatriots said, "Hey, look over there," and then pushed me in. So,
well, amazing. You should have been like you said, good Irish name. It should have been a good Greek name. It's good old Jan Yarvarvin, very Greek name.
Jan Yarvarvin.
I don't remember asking for comedy notes, Rob. How about you? I've got one job on this.
You don't have your ear thing, and that's why you can't hear the notes.
You can't hear the cues.
I've got one job on this ship. It's a stupid job, but it's my job, and I'm going to do it. Stupid Weaver from that movie.
Where you taking us to now, Rob?
Oh, it's me. Let's go to page 62. Characterization made easy. This is by Scott Beanie. This is a really good article. To actually, he's saying people when they describe their characters, they talk about their stats or what weapons they have and stuff. This is to really get people to think about the role playing and playing a role. So it's something that's probably been around a long time, but I think it's a really good, succinct article about why you're you ask yourself why you're going out, give yourself background, motivations, idiosyncrasies, traits, etc., phobias and weaknesses. It says to avoid stereotypes. also adds funny voices, and I think it's it's kind of the way that people play role playing games now, and it's the he even admits that he's a theater kind of guy, so you could see that. I bet a lot of old school people hate this, but it's the theater moving into the role playing, so critical role, as it were. So this is exactly that. They have all these crazy backstories and stuff, so and funny voices. But I like it because it's when you start create a character, you're trying to. I like to role play, but I like to get like something in my mind what kind of hooks, right, to play off of, and this really gives you a lot of options for those hooks. So
okay,
fun times. So it's a good little article giving your characters personality, not just stats. Thank you, Scott Beanie. You're doing God's
work. Well, then let's continue on. Let's go to page 29.
29.
Outrages from the mages. New magical items.
Back to the funny.
Some of these ones were actually pretty funny, like the Ring of Hunan made me laugh.
There was one. Oh, the rug of mothering. It's like a rug of smothering, but it just nags you the whole time.
And
the bit is the names are names of already existing items that you could then, it's a ring of turning. Oh, okay, I know what that is. It's a ring of, and then, but it's just 1 degree off, and then it's the funny explanation after.
And I like this one is for Rob. The staff of striking, local 531.
Yes.
Where you're going to try and hit someone with your staff, but then it stops you from hitting them and says it's on strike.
Damn staff of striking.
So, and the Roblicious items is also a good one because it's just a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need.
1 inch length of rope.
Yeah. So again, these are great little items if you want to throw in cursed or useless items into a treasure trove of something. Definitely throw the rug of mothering and the ring of Hunan influence.
It just makes your food very, very spicy.
Yeah, and then if you drink water, it makes it worse. And the only way you can counteract it is you have to eat 1d6 plates of rice.
Yeah, fun stuff.
All right, Jack, where would you like to go?
To our ads. I think it's time for ads. So,
Rob, do you have anything else then?
I do, because we have to talk about this because Mr. On page 50, Mr. Dale O'Donovan, he's continuing his obsession with Captain Britain, and he has the article on the Crazy Gang. Crazy Gang are annoying as fuck in the comic books, and I would never use these against a poor player because they would never play that game again because they are annoying and super powerful for being so annoying. That's the worst part. So, if you've ever read any of the Excalibur comic books, these guys play a major role. I think they're even in the Captain Britain series back in Alan Moore days. So, it is a terrible Crazy Gang. I do like how they describe each one, and the Red Queen is all but useless, is because she is all but useless. She just kind of stands there. But, Crazy Gang. It doesn't even have the craziest ones. It's only got 5 of the Crazy Gang. I wonder if next issue there'll be more Crazy Gang. I don't think there is. That's just a quick one. It's just a quick one, guys.
I got a quick one, too. Let's go to page 39.
This might be a quick episode because we're all just quick ones here.
It was a lot of joke ads, or joke articles. So this one's Can You Swim or Juggle? This is not a joke one. This is another skill system for D&D. And as I was reading this, and I suppose you could use this for first and second. And I've never played 3rd edition or 3.5, but I have played Pathfinder once, and I feel like this is what this skill system becomes.
Well, it's kind of similar to 2nd edition non-weapon proficiencies, kind of.
Yeah, but if you are, I know there's plenty of guys out there who are diehard 3.5ers. Let me know if this is kind of similar because I never played 3.5, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of adding
It doesn't.
non-weapon proficiencies to D&D, not AD&D.
Yeah,
So that's kind of what it's doing.
yeah, and then it doesn't seem like it's an unreasonable system. So
No, the one part that bothered me a bit was it was a uh, random to a degree how many points you got to start, and it's already there's already too many big swings where you take when you're making a character, and if this could be if you had this in your system and your stats were bad, you're like, I'm going to make it up with these proficiencies, and then you roll and you go, oh no, didn't do that either.
And you
yeah,
also can bloat the game, much like Pathfinder, where you just end up having so many things you can do that it's just like, okay, it's too much.
yeah, there's that too. So, um, Rob, do you got anything else you want to
No, that
check
was
out?
it for me. I am Dune.
Let's just hit one ecology then
Yeah,
on 103.
right at the back.
Right at the back.
I think there's words under the ecology of Bay here, but I can't tell.
I can't used to what it says either.
It's like they found some way to anti-photocopy this page because
Yeah.
it's some kind
This
of
is
design.
another this is another creature I didn't know too much about either.
I believe I fought one
Uh,
of these before because I knew about these guys.
Did you really? I did not. I've never encountered one of these in a game, and I don't think anyone's ever used it. So 12-legged serpent. It is usually mistaken for a wingless dragon. It says it's very violent and destructive, but it's also very nomadic. So it never stays in one spot for a long time. So because it doesn't stay in one spot, it doesn't have a huge lair with a lot of loot. One of the things I think was cool, or not cool, but different, was that it was a day hunter. It hunted during the day and then slept during the twilight hours,
Much like me.
and it hibernates in the wintertime, not like me. And it's terribly cunning when it comes to setting traps, and it's immune to poisons, and it can actually generate a bolt of lightning.
Much like me.
You can generate a bolt of lightning?
I might be a Bayer.
Yeah. But one of its main attacks is it likes to charge you and headbutt you. And
So
then,
far, yeah.
yeah, and then so far it's just like Rob. That's how Rob greets you. He just comes running up to you and headbutts you.
That's my mating ritual, actually.
Like Stompy the elephant.
But it looks like it's a pretty tough tough cookie.
Tough fake dragon.
Yep. I mean, just anything with 12 claws. Look at those claws on that thing, man.
They're clawy. Look at his little head. Look at him.
I can't even remember if it says if it even gives the. But you can make a very decent set of armor out of the kid thing's hide too, if you can find a decent enough blacksmith to make it up for you. I wish it did tell you what damage it kind of does for its claws.
You got to go into the monster manual, or whatever compendium it is.
Yeah, but
Does he even say where it comes from?
no,
Probably because it's going from second edition. It's probably not even in a compendium yet.
this might be in the monster compendium, probably.
The original one?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Bayers. How do you say
Oh,
it?
you know what? Be here.
Bayer.
Be here. Be here. Be here.
Be here. Be here next week.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it now. It apparently came from Forgotten Realms, so it's probably came out of the Forgotten Realms Monster Companion.
There you go. Which isn't out yet. What's happening? Where are we?
We're gonna go to ads now. Jack, would you like to go last?
I should go first because the two of you shotgun. There's not a.
I got one. I got one.
I got two, and then if there wasn't much in the way of ads, but please, Jack, please go first.
Please, sir.
Page 2.
Oh, okay. You didn't steal mine.
Oh, son of a!
Son of a shnikey.
That's a lie. It's not mine.
Or
First of all, just soak in the art for just a second.
yes.
That looks like it should be on a Hurlant or heavy metal cover.
I was gonna say it looks like it belongs on a wine tea cover.
Well, it is on the
It's-
cover of a book.
It's dynamite, but yeah. Now we were gonna scroll up and see Dark Horse, War Sprite, the Night Watch, all these books from what's the publisher? TSR Books. What the heck? I've never seen
This
any
is-
of these. This is where they
Shotgunning.
were trying to, yeah, shotgun products out to see what would stick.
And
Um,
yeah, it actually leads to their downfall in some way too.
yeah, all of them. You look at all of them. Well, maybe the Road West doesn't strike my fancy, but all the rest of them,
That looks like
if I
a
saw that,
Harlequin novel. There should be two people kissing on those stairs.
yeah, yeah, Fabio's holding a woman's bodice. Yeah, um, but yeah, never heard of any of them.
Never heard of any of the writers either.
Yeah, I didn't see any of these books back in the day either.
So
Maybe the Alien Dark, but I don't think I.
So at this point, I think they must have come out. They must have, but
Yeah.
I have no frame of reference. I just think that ad is very cool.
Yes, I read the what this war sprite is about. It's I guess there's two warring robots, and the female one it isn't very powerful, but she's got to beat up this really super powerful other robot. It's
She got a giant rocket.
uh yes, TSR gets in a lot of trouble with these books because they put so many out, and they little did they remember that book market you could send books back. You rip the cover off and send them back, and you have to give them money back, and that's bad when you put so many books out. And you all of a sudden all these books are coming back to you because who the fuck would buy any of these books? And yeah, so this is the beginning of the troubles for TSR. Don't put out a lot of weird books that nobody's going to read because unlike hobby shops, you can't rip the cover off and send back. Bookstores you can. So.
I wonder if at one point there was a warehouse just full of these things, and they're looking around, going, "We got it. What do we do?"
Well, they definitely. I know when they go out of business, they do find a warehouse full of. Remember the dice game, the TSR dice game they had. It was like a collectible dice game. They had like a warehouse full of these stupid dice, and they're like, what are we gonna do with these? Like it's over.
Yeah, right.
So.
And it's always the answer is always a landfill. It's never like, well, let's just give them away. It's always
No, well, a lot of times you can't with bankruptcy. You can't just give things away. You have to destroy it. So
bury the evidence.
But yeah, so a lot of them have similar names to other things, like Dark Horse. Obviously, there's Dark Horse comic books. Night Watch. I think there was a movie called Night Watch. I don't think it has anything to do with this. And the Alien Dark, yes. It's like the this is the what is that movie company that Pat with your Atlantic Rim? What was that company? Who makes those really bad knockoff movies?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, what are they called? Anyways, this is the book version of that. It's like just close enough that you might get tricked into buying these books.
It's true.
The Road West is it kind of got a dark tower on it. Maybe it's a Stephen King book.
Yep, and that what's that? Elite Maker or
I
Elite
have no
Banker?
idea. It looks like somebody without a face. I don't know
Oh,
what that is.
Outbanker. It looks like an Isaac Asimov book.
It does actually, yeah. Yeah, they are bookalikes.
Lookalikes.
That came from my brain.
Yeah, good call.
Pretty proud of that one.
What do you got?
I'm gonna go to page 23.
Not neither mine.
This one I only mentioned because it's from ICE. We've seen back in the day they did all the master books. Remember they did all the and we actually just found them at Gen Con. We found their little booth and we're like, oh, these guys are still around. And
yeah, ICE is still around. We're like, oh my gosh.
I just want to point out that they're doing a cyberspace book. So even they're jumping in the cyberpunk genre. Obviously, that's the hotness of the 90s is cyberpunk. So even this company known for their Middle-earth role-playing game and like a bunch of master books, Rollmaster, I think they did. They're coming out with cyberpunk. They got cyberspace and something called Edge On. And Straw Games and Megacorps. So it's cyberpunk's the hotness in this time, and ICE jumped on the bandwagon and did poorly. Although I think these guys generally are well regarded in their games, so maybe it's
I see because they still have the ICE also had the Lord of the Rings one.
Yeah, they had Middle Earth role playing with them. Yep.
Yeah,
it looks like they've got a number of products for the reveal. Like they're it looks like an actual attempt to make a but I don't recognize any of it.
No, I didn't. I may have known it existed, but I've never seen it. Like I've never played any of those other books they have. So It's just one
I
of those
didn't
things.
notice.
Ice is
I-
one of those blank spots in my knowledge of games, which is
Ice is
amazing because
back with a brand new invention.
we played so many role playing games back in the day. I'm amazed somehow these guys slipped by us. Maybe because it looked kind of generic fantasy like before this.
Well,
So
I never played any ice books. I don't know why either, but
it's weird.
just never did.
Like even the role playing or the Middle Earth ones, you'd think you'd pick those up, but no.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to page 54.
54. Dragonlance. This is just Dragonlance.
It's the monster's companion for Dragonlance. Now we're starting to see the campaign settings getting their own monstrous companions.
Yeah, it's begun the glut of monstrous compendiums.
Oh, exactly. And to top that off, let's go to page 116.
Well, I had the Dragonlance one, so and I
They
liked
never even
it.
played Dragonlance.
I was a Dragonlance boy. I liked it.
116. That's a beautiful horse. Oh, it's a unicorn.
This is it's the Forgotten Realms Adventure thing that brings Forgotten Realms into second edition.
Yep. This is the big book.
This is stuff that Ed and
Elminster.
Jeff Grubb were working on.
Yes.
To bring it all in. So this is where everything's starting to go to second edition now.
I do like
even more so.
It's got to be a Clyde Caldwell. It's got to be.
Yeah,
I'm looking for a symbol.
It could be underneath where it could be underneath where they have the actual book thing. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It does look very Caldwell-y.
Gorgeous.
Actually, yeah, I think I see it in the gray and white in that by the hoof.
Maybe. If we're wrong, please comment below. But it is.
I do not.
I love the art of second.
Well, long time friend, long time listener, Clyde. We'll just ask him; he'll tell us.
You could email him, Pat. I've got another question for you, Clyde.
Yeah.
He's like, stop
calling
cover? Me.
Yeah. Stop talking to me, you hack. I will say this horse is very veiny.
Horses are veiny if you actually look at them.
I know, but this one is exceptionally veiny.
Let's see who did the cover. Does it say?
Are we looking it up?
Cover. Guess who the cover artist is?
Who?
Well, guess.
Larry Elmore.
No, you just said it, guys. Just
say
it.
It's Clyde Caldwell. It's Clyde Caldwell. I mean, it looks like it's 100. It looks like a Clyde Caldwell.
Yeah. You can see this for sure. It's got all his stylings, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
A female paladin by the looks of it.
The disappointment when he set it up. He put the ball right up in front of the net.
And you guys went, nah, I'm not even going to bother jumping.
Yeah.
Okay, we all know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any more ads?
I do not have any more ads.
All right. Well, then let's just wrap this clown car up.
This fleshy beholder up.
Head out of the circus tent and get some funnel cake. So like, share, subscribe, guys.
No
comments. Let us
whatever
know
you do. Don't do any of those things.
Yeah, let us know about the Pathfinder third. If this kind of is what that article kind of morphs into at some point.
Let us know if you've played any ice games. There was something else we were asking about. I can't remember what it was. Well, you just listen to us, so tell us whatever we asked before.
The Torg one was last episode.
Yes, if you ever played Torg, yes.
Yeah. So, well, that being said, then for the Dragon's Tome, I've been your host, Chopper.
Bye, Chopper.
And goodbye.
Oh, you didn't even throw it to me.
I didn't have to throw it to you.
I'm Rob.
It's a rolling thing. It's a rolling outro.
Bye,
Thank
Chopper.
You.
Bye.
Bye, everyone out there.
Bye, Wally.
Look and stare at us.